Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, has clarified why he was running for president in 2027 to be a one-term president if he's elected by Nigerians. In a statement by one of his spokespersons, Ibrahim Omar, Peter Obi tried to justify the reason for wanting a one-term president in 2027. And some of these points, according to the statement, he had already outlined it in the recent interview he had with the Channels Television, Politics Today. And that is what we are going to look at, because a lot of questions are being asked. How can Peter Obi be able to achieve much in just 4 years, when even 4 years is not enough for a lot of presidents? We have a situation where even after 8 years, it appears that if Buhari didn't achieve anything and that the country got worse than it was in 2015 when he took over. So Peter Obi, in that statement by his spokesperson, showed the reason why he is going for one-term president. And by that reason he has given, he has taken a shot at Atiku Abubakar, because Peter Obi said that the reason why he is going for only 4 years, for one term in 2027, is to respect the sanctity of zoning, which he said has been a stabilizer to our polity, despite not being in our constitution. So rotation of the presidency, zoning has been a stabilizing factor in our presidency, in our country. Even though it's not in the constitution, Peter Obi said, I respect it. That is why I will only contest and be president for only 4 years. So what that means, he didn't say it directly, but I'm telling you, that is taking a big shot at Atiku Abubakar himself. Okay? Because Atiku Abubakar, it means that he doesn't have respect for this stabilizer that we have in our polity. This stabilizer rotation that rotate power between the north and south every 8 years. Atiku has no respect for it. Peter Obi say, I respect it. You know, by saying he respects it and Atiku say he will contest, it means Atiku doesn't respect it. This is what is called interpretative journalism. And I'm right, you can quote me anywhere on it. Because what Peter Obi has done by saying that I will respect this, it has been a stabilizing force in our polity, in our country, even though it's not in the constitution. But Atiku sending signal that he's going to contest in 2027 shows that he has no respect for this stabilizer of our polity. And of course, he has history of disregard for zoning when it suits him. When it suits him, when it is the turn of the north, Atiku will be saying it everywhere he goes. It not need to be included in the process. It is the turn of the north, like under Jonathan. In 2019, when it was the north in charge, Buhari, and there was a need for north to continue, he didn't find anything bad with the fact that all the presidential aspirants in 2019 were all northerners. He gloried in it. He enjoyed it. But now that it is the south that's supposed to continue, he's throwing himself into the ring. It means he has no regard for that zoning. So Peter Obi, according to this statement, in the interview which he granted Arise Television, he made it clear why he is going for one term. It's not that he doesn't know that he has the constitutional right to contest as long as the constitutional limit permits. That was why when you see the attitude of Atiku Abubakar, even if he promised you that he will do one term, Atiku will never do one term as president. So if Atiku will never do one term, why don't Atiku exercise patience so that by 2031 he can contest, so that he can continue from there? Because the truth be told, if Atiku enter Aso Villa in 2027, he's not leaving that place in 2031. You can go and write it and I say so. He's not going to live there. Even though he's in his 80s, being his over 80, at that time, he is not going to give space. He will continue. So he is in good health. Thank God for him. So he should be exercise patient until 2031. Because Peter Obi has said, I will not even contest. This is my last shot. Peter Obi has said it. Said 2027 is likely to be my last shot at presidency. Because after that, I'll be too old. And if you look at the age of Peter Obi, by the time the power will return back to the South in 2039 or thereabout, he will still be younger than Atiku, but he considers himself that he will be too old. So Atiku should learn a lesson from that and step aside, so that in 2031, which will not be it's not too far, then he will emerge and compete with other Northerners like Erofai, like Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, like Nuhu Ribadu, and all the rest. That's how it's supposed to be. And leave this floor to Amechi and Peter Obi to slug it out at the primaries. So Peter Obi is saying, I believe one time is enough for me to achieve what I want to achieve for Nigeria. And he was very clear. He said one time is enough for any serious person, any sincere leader to make an impact. 4 years. Because people are saying that it is a gimmick and that he just want to get into power. No, 4 years he can achieve a lot. He noted that one time is enough to establish that good governance is possible. And if they can impact negatively on us for just 2 years, why won't someone achieve a lot in 4 years? That's a very good point he made. If Tinubu can destroy this country the way it has destroyed this country, look at how much was dollar on May 28, 2023. And what dollar is today. Look at what a bag of rice was on May 28, 2023. And what a bag of rice is today. Look at what you buy fuel in 2023. In May 28, 2023. And what you buy fuel today. You can see what can be damaged in just 2 years. Somebody can also do good. And I will show you example of a Nigerian leader. I'm not going to bring in a foreign leader who has done literary miracles in less than a year as president, so that you know that 4 years you can trust Peter Obi to transform this country. You can trust him to transform this country because he is somebody that is committed, somebody who is determined to lay a foundation, even though he may not have the time to be the Lim Kuan Yew of Nigeria, but the foundation he will lay, if people build on it, that will be the beginning of Nigeria's movement from third world to first world. If there's anybody who can trust, who is alive today, who can be able to do it, lay the solid foundation for Nigeria to move from third world to first world, it is Peter Obi. 4 years, he can do it. I believe strongly that by his track record, he can do it. By his integrity, by his incorruptible nature, he can do it. He is the only one that can do it right now. In every generation, there are people that are picked by God Almighty himself who can make a change in a society. There were so many men of Israel in Egypt when Moses was picked. It was not for nothing. At every time, turning point in any nation's history, someone must be picked. And I believe that Peter Obi is that one person. And 4 years will be enough for him. Now let us look at somebody who was a leader in Nigeria who spent only about 6 months. Murtala Mohammed. Let us look at Murtala Mohammed. He was president for about 6 years. For about 6 months, 6 months. Less than a year. Look at what he did within that 6 months before he was assassinated in 1976. He ensured civil service reform. Corrupt officials were retired or dismissed. He restored accountability in the civil service, away from the corruption that characterized the Gowon administration and the corruption that had been in Nigeria right from independence. He was able to do his bit on that. He restored accountability. He created new states. When he became head of state, we had 12 states. He increased the states to 19 states. It was Murtala that created Bauchi State, Benue State, Borno State, Imo State, Niger State, Ogun State, Ondo State. Those were the products of Murtala in less than 6 months. He initiated the relocation. This Abuja, I'm making this video in Abuja, okay? This Abuja that you see today was the brainchild of Murtala Mohammed. He initiated the relocation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria capital from Lagos to Abuja. Was he alive to enjoy it today? No. But that was his dream. That was his idea. That is what you see leaders can achieve. They don't have to stay there forever. Even if Buhari is to be president for 20 years, there is nothing he can do. Just like Tinubu, even if you give him 20 years, you can't expect much than what you are seeing right now. That is exactly what you get. But there are generational leaders that their impact outlive them generations. Look at Abuja today. It was the brainchild of Murtala Mohammed. He was also worried about, because when he came in, the military intervention in our politics destroyed this country. It led us to civil war. And it led us to so many instability. It was Murtala Mohammed that initiated the transition to democracy. He laid the foundation and said, no, the military have stayed too long. They need to go back to the barrack. And he started the transition program. When he was assassinated in the 1976 coup, General Olusegun Obasanjo, who took over, continued that transition program. That was how in 1979, Alhaji Shehu Shagari became the president of Nigeria with Dr. Alex Ekweme, vice president. And that was the time that Nigeria was ready for healing. That was shortly after the Civil War. The Civil War ended in 1970. By 1979, an Igbo man was vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That was people that were determined for healing, that the Civil War should be forgotten and be restricted to the history books. But today, that Civil War is being weaponized. Being weaponized against the Igbos. But look at it. In 1979, just 9 years after the war, an Igbo man was vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But today, some people are even offended when you suggest that an Igbo man be president of Nigeria. I brought this up for you to know what can be achieved in 6 months, he initiated the transition program that produced Shehu Shagari and Dr. Lesekweme. He brought in economic reform and canceled some of the corruptly induced contracts that was awarded under Gowon regime. He canceled them. He encouraged Operation Feed the Nation so that Nigeria can feed itself. He asserted Nigeria's foreign policy. It was Murtala Mohammed that made Nigeria, Africa, the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy, and which is what it ought to be, and help in fighting against apartheid in South Africa, in Angola, supported liberation movement in Angola, supported liberation movement in Zimbabwe, effectively more than ever. One of the speeches he gave at the Organization of African Unity has been considered one of the best speeches ever given at that organization. So, he showed a lot of integrity in his conduct, in his administration of the country, in 6 months. So if Murtala could achieve all this much in 6 months, why are people doubting that Peter Obi can be able to do it in 4 years? Why are the naysayers saying that this is just a mere political gimmick? Why don't you give him a chance? Why don't you try him? He is an uncommon politician. He's not like your average politician. This is someone that was given an oil block, he rejected it. This is someone that was given a land in his state, he rejected it and said, give it to more worthier civil servant who needed it more than me. You should be able to trust him that he will do one time. So that's my take on Peter Obi's pledge to do one term, and also to look at Atiku Abubakar's penchant for disregard for zoning, which has been a stabilizing factor in Nigeria, which was the reason why PDP is today destroyed, because of Atiku's penchant for disregard for zoning over a very long period now. So I don't know what you think about my presentation on why Peter Obi can be trusted that he can achieve a lot in 4 years, and that why Peter Obi should be encouraged and should be supported for the 4-year term, 4-year single term that he's requesting, saying it's enough for him to do the needful, to do what is necessary to move this country forward. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you, and please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you.